I think we're live. I hope we're live. I'm like watching bars to make sure that everything's lighting up the way it's supposed to. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. I think we're live. Hi, friends. Welcome. Welcome. One more time. One more time. Why not? It's Friday. We'll just go overboard. We'll just go overboard. Welcome. Welcome. Super excited to be with you all. We are live today. It's Friday, December the 15th. It is literally our last stream for the year. And I am kind of devastated, if I'm being honest. Yeah. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Corey Weathers. I have the privilege and pleasure of being a developer advocate lead over at Auth0, supporting a fantastic product named Auth0. I think y'all saw the video. Shout out to our amazing video editor, Greg, over at Auth0. Fantastic guy, that guy. Fantastic guy. He put that video together. That video is up on our YouTube channel. Fantastic guy. I am really happy to be with y'all. As I shared, today's my last stream. We're going to go for about an hour and a half. We've been streaming for the past couple of weeks. I've gotten an excuse from work to be able to be here with you all. And so as you saw the video from Auth0 Dev, you'll see a couple more videos featuring the work that we do for developers at Auth0 here on the channel. And so my ask is, as you see stuff, engage with the prompts. Our amazing folks at Auth0 help to make sure that I can stay employed to be able to show up and do things like this with you. Today, we're going to talk a little bit of identity. We're going to talk a little bit of advent of code. I'm probably going to answer a bunch of questions. I'm hoping that most of the questions I can actually answer, that we don't have to do much research to figure it out. But we're just going to have a little bit of fun. We've got streaming happening as well on a number of different platforms. So we've got Twitch lit up. We've got LinkedIn lit up. I'm very sure that we have X lit up. I think Facebook is in the list. I'm very sure YouTube is in the list. We've got 5 different places that people can see us from, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I've been doing a small experiment just to help me understand more of how to engage on those platforms. And folks have given me a lot of comments, a lot of feedback, a lot of suggestions. Thank you all. Thank you all. As you can see, there is also fun chat happening just down at the bottom of the screen. That conversation is being pulled in from our friends on Twitch. And so one of the things I'll suggest to you is, if you do want to join the conversation, head over to twitch.tv/CoreyLWeathers. If things go left, heaven help us all. I'm going to hope that things don't go left. But with that, as folks have joined the conversation, I'm going to head over and go say hi, because we've got a number of friends who've joined us here in chat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say welcome to our friends, Hacky Boo, Deathpacks, Frackbird, TBD Gamers in the house. I saw ID the J3 in the house. I saw Surly Dev in the house. We've got a number of folks joining and saying hi. Welcome, friends. The other thing is, if this is your first time, I don't want you to be shy. Please join the fun. We love welcoming folks. I think in our last stream, which was on Monday, we had some folks who were return viewers. They'd been with us. I streamed for years. They've been with us in the early days of my streaming when the setup looked nothing like this. And I happened to work for a different company that happens to rhyme with the word Cheerio. I don't know if I can say their name loud, so we'll just call them the company that rhymes with Cheerio. Yeah. That being said, I am super, super, super stoked to be with you. If you've been with us for as long as we've been live, I want to share something. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. Let me see if this will pop up. Hold on. Stay tuned. Yes, it did. Yes. Drop your wins of the week in chat, friends. We want to celebrate you. Folks are doing some amazing things. I've heard some things here in the chat over on Monday. I heard some things over on Twitter. I heard some things, I'm sorry, X. I heard some things in private conversations. If folks have wins of the week that are worth celebrating, and they could be anything, doesn't have to be tech related, drop it into chat. Let's make sure we give you all a round of applause, yeah? Every time I think we get a win, we'll go ahead and we'll also do not the chair. We'll do the horns. We'll play the trumpet for you, right? Wait, let me see if the trumpet works. Yeah, the trumpet works. We'll play the trumpet. We see a win, we'll play the trumpet. Yeah, sounds good. I'm also really tired. Let me. I mean, it's been a long week. Some of you who follow me on different social platforms know on Wednesday we had an emergency. We had some stuff happening here at the house, and so I was not able to get live then. And a number of folks reached out and asked if everything's okay. I just want to let you all know everything is okay. Me and the kids, we're safe. The dog is safe. Everyone's okay. We just had to get some stuff taken care of very quickly. It was quite urgent, and so I couldn't be with you all then. But as a result of it, I'm just tired. So we're only going to go for about 90 minutes. After that, we're going to head over to my friend, if you're joining from Twitch, we're going to head over to my friend James Quick's stream. He's doing a fantastic podcast recording that's happening at the top of the next hour there on his channel. So we'll go hang out and give him a little bit of love. If you join the conversation in Twitch, you too can join that one as well. There's that. There was something else I was supposed to do to pay the bills today, and I can't remember. And for those of you who don't know, when I say I have to pay the bills, it's me giving love to all things Auth0. And God, I cannot remember. So it's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me. But until then, let's turn the music back on. Let's get this thing going. Hold on. Let me set the music up behind the scenes. We'll get the show volume set to the show volume, and then we're going to go and have a bit of fun. Okay, there we go. I see some music playing. There we go. That's right. That's right, Hecky B. We got to pay those bills. Frackberg said we should stream for more years. One of my colleagues, shout out to my colleague, Matt Rabel. One of my colleagues keeps trying to convince me to keep streaming. And I said, yeah, I just don't have the time. Being a developer advocate lead, I spend a lot more time doing other things. I just don't always have the time anymore. Today's mug as well, for those who are interested. Somebody asked me, what do my mugs look like? Let me zoom in there and see if we can get that right. Because it says, wait, no, we're not going to get the zoom right. It says, due to unfortunate circumstances, I'm awake. That's today's theme. That's today's feeling. Which is why I don't know if Advent's going to be a good idea, but we're going to find out together. We're going to find out together. Chef Brent says 2024 is the time where they will push the start streaming button. Hey, we're going to hold you accountable to that. All right. We're just going to clap and hold you accountable to that. Yeah. Yeah. What else did I see just now? Oh, shout out to TBD Gamer. Did y'all see this? TBD Gamer said, win of the week, finally got back into a stream schedule that works and starting to gain some traction. Yeah? Play the trumpet. Shout out to TBD Gamer. That is fantastic. For those of you who don't know, let me see if I can I do the, let me try the thing real quick. For those of you who are so inclined, if you're joining us on Twitch, make sure you go hit the follow button and go give our friend TBD Gamer a follow. Absolutely a friend to the stream. He and I are talking about doing a collaboration next year, which will involve a little bit of .NET, a little bit of Auth0, a bit of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're going to line that conversation up shortly here. And so while I did say this is my last stream of 2023, because it more than likely is, for 2024, don't be surprised if you see me popping up on a number of other friends' streams. Yeah? Yeah? And if the rest of you have some wins of the week, feel free to drop them on. Feel free to drop them on. The other side to this is it is 11 minutes past the hour. 11 minutes past the hour. We're going to hang out and chat for a little bit of time before we hop into all things code. We'll probably start code about halfway mark of the hour. So this is our time really to just hang out and ask some questions. There are a couple of things I want to bring up from the community that I saw this week that I'm very excited and encouraged by. I saw a fun update from our friend David Fowler around all things .NET Aspire. We can talk a little bit about that. I saw a really fun update come out for a number of blog posts that folks on our team have gotten out. My amazing colleague Sierra Ford has gotten an article out for all things Next.js, as well as Jess Temporal, who I think is live now. Jess has gotten an article out on all things Python, Flask API, moving to the Flask API, I think not Flask, to Fast API from Flask. And I thought that was fantastic. I read it this morning and I was like, ooh, I really like where she's going with it. So I'm very excited about that. Frackberg's lining up a me and Chef Brent stream, which I would definitely be game for. I would absolutely be game for. For those of you who've not seen the stream before, we're very big on food. We do not like not good food. So I would love that. As we've got some traditions, me and Chef Brent. We've got some traditions from streams past, let me tell you. And our friends in chat love that idea. So we'll see if we could get that lined up as well for 2024 and more. But that being said, keep those wins coming. I'll share one win of the week for me. And I legitimately will tell you, I'm incredibly excited by this. It's one of the cute, there are these moments you go through as you mature into all things parenting. My daughter, I never share my kids' names. So for those of you who know my kids' names, definitely do not drop them in chat. I never share them live on stream. But my daughter got an invitation to her first school dance. And now the dad in me is like all the heart palpitations. All the heart palpitations. Yeah. She's very excited about it. I'm very excited about it. We definitely are looking forward to it. So I'm trying to make sure, it's in the same vein of this last message that came through. I'm trying to make sure that I'm going to be home to be present and active and helpful for the school dance. I'm very much looking forward to it. So that's an exciting thing happening. That's a win of the week. She's very excited. I'm very excited. We are going to see how far this goes. Did y'all see it? Our friend, wait, where would I see? Okay, here we go. Our friend Frackberg said, if I lived closer to them, we'd totally do a rib stream together. You know who else? So I would be game. I said this before, and we didn't make it happen. And I don't know if I could do it now, because Hecky B said, or Chef Bree said the same thing, which is you'd have to catch me. I don't know if we could do it now, because my travel schedule for the beginning of next year is insane. But we said before we were going to do a tour. Do y'all remember, like, I think years ago, let's call it 2020, maybe 2019, we said we were going to do a tour. And we never made the tour happen, right? And so we should have done the tour, because that could have been fun. Yeah, it was a road show. See, Chef Brent remembers. We said we were going to do a road show. We were going to go hang out with our favorite friends from the developer community. We were going to stream while we did it. Folks were trying to convince us to rent a bus, and it didn't happen. But dang it, we should have. Again, if you're watching from any of the other platforms, join the conversation, twitch.tv/CoreyLWeathers. TBD Gamer dropped another win of the week, and we're going to figure which part of this is a win. It says their daughter turned 15 today. Congratulations. I don't know if it's the turning 15 or the feeling older, but we'll take the win either way. We're aging gracefully. And beautifully. That's how I'm gonna take it. Our friend Luz is here. Welcome to the stream, Luz. Super glad to have you. Says they're at the airport. Can't stay long. Wanted to pop in and say hi. Good to see you, Luz. I saw our good friend Layla Codes did a what you call it, a blog post with you on their website. Let me see if I can find that as well in the background at www.layla.dev. I saw that post, I want to say this morning, and I was very encouraged by it. I thought it was really good. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, so we'll keep this up in the background as well. I'll share that when we go to the screen. TBD gamer. So true. So true. If others have wins, feel free to drop them. If you don't, that's absolutely okay. We'll do what we can. We'll make it work. We'll keep the machine going. Friends who hang with us for the entire stream, make sure to let folks know. Drop those wins. And we've got a command for it. Command wins, yeah? Okay, let's see if that worked. Yep, that did work. And we've got a command for it, so stay tuned for that. Okay, let me now do a thing. So first things first, I had all of this loaded up before and I have no idea why I did this, but we're just gonna do it again. 1 second. So I had all of my articles up that I was going to talk about, and then I literally closed everything because I was trying to get rid of the stuff that people couldn't see. And I was very frustrated by it. So we're gonna come back to this. So that's one. And then this is 2. And then yeah, I saw that one. I'm not sure that I like this. And then this is, nope, that's not it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I wanted to talk about a couple things today, and before we hop into the code, and they're all like .NET community related. For those of you who don't know, I am a .NET developer. I've been a .NET developer. I am incredibly excited about being a .NET developer, especially now when things have just gotten really, really, really fun and exciting. We just had the .NET 8 update. There's a ton that's come there. Not yet, Luz. I'm going to share my screen in 2 seconds here. We've just had the .NET 8 update, and legitimately, there's so many things that have gotten announced this year at .NET Conf that it's blown my mind. And so one of the things that we may do when we light back up in 2024, should we light back up in 2024, I have an application that I want to build, and I want to use it to showcase both some of the best of all things .NET and some of the ease of access of using a third-party identity provider like the fantastic company and product that I support, all things Auth0 and Auth0 by Okta. And so I'm gonna transition here really quickly to a topic that I think is really interesting, which is all things .NET 8. I want to give a shout out first to our good friend of the stream, C# Fritz. Love that guy. Love that guy. C# Fritz and I had been chatting in the past few weeks about some ways in which we could partner and some opportunities there. And let me bump up the Zoom here. He and I were talking about different ways that we could connect and get in front of the community together. But I saw this tweet 2 nights ago, and I saw this and I was like, dang it, I could have been there. Our friend C# Fritz, for those who don't know him, he's always streaming on Twitch over at the same handle. I'm going to give him a quick shout out here. He's always streaming over there. I think he may actually be live now as well. But he's been going around doing some fantastic talks on all things .NET 8, Blazor, C# 12, and Aspire. He's building an application or updating an application that he's using right now, Tags app. Like, we've had so many conversations over the years, and now we're talking again to try to figure out ways to collab. If you don't know him, go give him a follow, go give him some love. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. And like our friend Chef Brent says, Philly.net is a really, really, really solid group. I'm trying to get more active because I'm never home. But when I am home, I'm trying to make sure that I can like get time with them. But they are a fantastic group of folks as well. So yeah, and I love this, right? Like look at this, great job. Which Blazor template is similar to blah blah blah? I want to update, right? But check this out. You see him here just answering questions. I say this all the time. The heart and soul of developer relations and developer advocacy is about helping individual developers. And so I just love this. I really do. So wanted to give him a shout out first. And then I got to talk about this, which is all things .NET Aspire. How many folks here watching know what .NET Aspire is? I'm very, very, very excited about this. I've been thinking a ton about like what it means to build applications that are, I wouldn't say cloud native, but definitely have the ability to be cloud native, right? And what it means to architect for them, what it means to scale for them, and what it means to make things interchangeable within them. And so as I looked at this announcement of all things .NET Aspire, what I kept thinking about was like, oh, if I'm building microservices, when I'm building an application that has, you know, what is currently called micro front ends, right? Which is you've got sort of a base, but then you've got these individual small components that compose your front end, the bits and pieces that everyone sees. You could easily use this, have those backed by different microservices behind the scenes, and where they're hosted, how they run, what they do, like, doesn't matter. And so when I look at Aspire, I'm like, oh, this is the best way to literally make this straightforward and easy for folks. And so I've been watching a bunch of the content come out for all things Aspire. I'm still very, very, very curious. I'm becoming a bit more opinionated on how do you do things like identity in a world like this. I have some thoughts. And so we'll probably talk a little bit about that in a 2024 world. But I am very, very, very encouraged by what I'm seeing here. And so this is the launch article that came out. And then I happened to come across this article in my feed. And I don't usually like sharing articles like this, right? Like not so much the article, but more like I prefer that it be on an individual developer site, or that it come on a platform that is very much around celebrating like developer stories. Because this platform does not seem that way. But I saw this and I was like, huh, interesting. This is really cool. And so this, to me, this article does a really good job of breaking down why Aspire is a thing. And I loved that they were talking through like some of the benefits of Aspire, right? And how you break that down and what it means in practice. And as a developer, what you should be paying attention to and all the things. And so I was really encouraged by this. I continue to be excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. You give me something new and I'm like, ooh, go play. So I'm very, very, very excited. I think if we start streaming again next year, I'm gonna probably do some Aspire content. If I do the thing I think I want to do, which is to start putting out more .NET video content, you'll probably see me doing a good cross section of some identity, some like Aspire, some .NET, some Blazor. We'll see how that goes, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm doing some planning now. So yeah, if y'all have some fun updates or some fun articles that you want to share, feel free to drop those in chat as well. I'm super, 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 super excited to talk those through. Our friend Luce Carter said something that I grabbed and I forgot to bring it up. So I'm going to bring it up now. Sorry, Luce. Our friend Luce Carter said, started looking into adding MongoDB support to Aspire. Cosmos DB doesn't use the latest and greatest of our features, so that would be good to add as well. Yeah, this is one of the things. So our friend Luce is over at Mongo. Shout out to the friends who work over there. This is one of the things I love about where we are in the world of developing, right? And building software. We've built software. We've gotten the industry to a place where like things are that interchangeable. You can truly say, hey, I want to build a .NET application backed by MongoDB, and part of that application will only use MongoDB, but then another part of this could be something else. And so I love that. I love that, love that, love that. Hey, we've got someone joining us from LinkedIn. Welcome, welcome. Super glad to have you. First timer to the stream. Yeah, and I'm excited to have you. We've just started lighting up on LinkedIn. I was looking at the data from LinkedIn and it told me a story of how people are discovering content there. I'm very curious to see how this will go as we continue this. But as this is your first time, welcome. I'll reintroduce myself for the benefit of those who are joining us. My name, Corey Weathers. I have the privilege and pleasure of serving as a developer advocate lead over at Auth0, and that does not mean that you can go ask me all of your identity questions, because that doesn't mean I'm going to answer all of them or know the answer to all of them. But you can absolutely ask me the questions and I can find the answer. I'll tell you that. I think that's the right way to say it, right? Like, I'm not telling you that I'm the Joe Schmo who knows it all, because I probably know very little. But I'm absolutely happy to help every single developer who has a question. So as y'all have your identity questions, drop them in chat as well. Super glad to take them. Any that I know the answer to, I'll answer. Any that I don't, I won't. We'll find you the right answer. Does that sound good? There's one more thing I wanted to pull up. And then we're gonna go talk a little bit about Advent and maybe write some Advent code, but not too much. I had it in the background. And again, one of those things that I legitimately just did not remember to keep open. Hold on 1 second. Because I found this post this morning and I was like, ooh, this is special. Ah, there it goes. There it goes. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there. I swear I'm almost there. It sounds crazy. All right, there we go. I'm gonna pull this over and then I'm gonna change my screen so that you all can see this. For those of you who've been here a couple of times, you know that I love the C# Advent Calendar. How many folks have known about the C# Advent Calendar? Drop the answer to that in chat. I'd be super curious to see. For those of you who don't, as we have Advent of Code, which also follows the Advent calendar, it starts on December 1st, it ends on December 25th. We have the same happening for the C# Advent calendar. The C# Advent calendar is a calendar where members of the .NET community sign up to publish content every day from December 1st to December 25th. It's orchestrated and organized by our good friend to the stream, Matthew Grove. Shout out to Matthew. Fantastic. But as you can see, every day new content gets released. And so we are now on obviously December 15th. And so those articles have been released. I haven't read today's articles yet. I'm very curious to read them. The last one that I think I read this one, the What's New in Entity Framework Core article, and I read the cron jobs one. So I have a couple to catch up on. I actually want to read about this one, HTTP context issues with Azure SignalR. Very much want to read that one. And I want to spend some time jumping into all things bulk text analytics. I'm very curious about that as well. But for those of you who are curious, if you want to follow along, literally here's the website, csadvent.christmas. And so let me drop this here, let me drop that there, let me drop that in chat. For those of you who are curious, feel free to go and check that out as well. csadvent.christmas. All right, y'all, it is that time. It's time for us to go write some code. Another thing I'll ask for those of you in chat, how many folks are doing Advent of Code? How many folks have heard of Advent of Code? How many folks have started and then stopped Advent of Code? Super curious to hear. And for those who haven't, let's go to the website, adventofcode.com. Oh, and I'm still logged in, and you can see, oh, some of you can. Well, no, you can't because of the window. Hold on. So let me just go to the left and let's escape that. And then I'm just going to widen that and we'll scroll over. You can see I've got 5 stars. So I obviously have missed a bunch of days. I don't know which days are like the easier or the hard ones. All I know is I've jumped around, and this is probably not the way that you're supposed to do it. And so the way, I mean, they probably let you do it however you want, right? But the way that I would describe this for folks is it is obviously a calendar of programming puzzles and challenges. It follows the Advent calendar. You can do it in whichever language you'd like. You can apparently also do it with the help of AI once entries have come onto the leaderboard and there's enough entries, right? They've asked folks specifically not to stream them like for the first time, meaning obviously, as an example, today is the 15th. If I were just approaching the 15th question, I would probably be not within the spirit of what they want. So we will not be doing the 15th problem today. But I am excited to write a little bit of Advent code with you all today. Our friend Frackberg said they did day 1 and day 2 was too much. Yeah, day 3 got me. I'm very sure day 3 got me. Yep. And part 2 of day 4, because there are 2 parts of every every day's puzzle. Part 2 of day 4 got me as well. I don't want to do that today on stream because we won't have enough time for me to start and finish it, and I do want to try to finish it. So we're going to see how this goes. But I like the idea of an Advent for new programmers, and I'm curious if others do as well. That could be an interesting thing to try to go build. Anonymously, welcome to the chat. Glad to have you, says .NET. Yeah, we're doing it in .NET. Sometimes my .NET code is terrible. Bear with me. We're going to do it all. We're going to talk it through. We're going to try to make sense of it. Some of you may approach it differently. I welcome hearing your suggestions and feedback, and I'm excited to do that. I also realize not everyone here is a developer. So as we're doing prompts or as I'm approaching things, please don't hesitate to ask questions. We can slow down. We can have a little bit of fun. We can make it a fun and inclusive experience. Yeah? Yeah? This is the time as well. I'm going to remind folks, don't forget, drop those wins of the week into chat. We absolutely want to continue to celebrate you as we lean into all things Advent. For today's prompt, we're going to do day 5. I'm going to do part 1 of day 5. Let me make it bigger, and then let me do writer. I'll probably I wonder if I could use Visual Studio Code. I haven't. Let me see if my Visual Studio Code is up to date, because I'm very sure that my Visual Studio Code was not up to date the last time I ran it. And I saw your prompt there anonymously. I'm going to come back and talk to that really quickly. Give me a second. Well, that was nasty. Sorry about that, y'all. Didn't mean for that to be so loud. Yeah, my Visual Studio Code isn't that far out of date. We'll use Visual Studio Code, even though I don't usually use it. So we're going to have to fumble my way through it. Bear with me. Okay, so let me go do a thing. And we're going to use the command line to drive today. So this is going to be a little bit fun and wonky and exciting. Yay. Anonymously said something, and I want to talk to this really quickly because I think it's actually a really good shout and a solid prompt. Says, hey, I just want to see some build an API structure and entity framework. What are you looking for? So for those of you who don't know, obviously building an API structure, that's building a sort of a back-end service that folks who are building user interfaces can use to show things and display things the way that they do. And so they're looking to get a little bit of API structure that has a database behind it. An entity framework is what we call a mapper, an ORM, or an object relational mapper, to connect up to the database. Anonymously, is there something in particular you're looking for? So they're looking to see it with .NET 7 or 8. There's a couple things I would point you to first. Let me do the thing. I always have to shout out learn.microsoft.com. There are specific things in here that can actually do exactly what you just said. So, and pardon me for looking to my left because that's where the chat is. But if you are looking very specifically for that, for like a CRUD sort of approach, you can absolutely use this to do it. That's the first thing. And let me see if I can find a specific course for you. So let's go Entity Framework. Right there. And they're using .NET 6 as their baseline. So this is a great way to approach this. This is one way to do it. And I'll just drop the link for this into chat in case anyone is interested. Okay. The second side to this is it is something that I will probably need to do for what I'm looking to build with my application. So I'm going to be building, I think I shared this. I'm very sure I shared this on social media somewhere, but I'm going to be building a recipe application. So my daughter and I cook together, and I realized that at some, regretful point in the future, I will probably start to lose my memory and or pass away. Yes, it happens. That's what happens. But I wanted to save our recipes. And yes, I could write them in a book, but I'm a software developer. I'm going to go write code. Come on. So we're going to build an application. I'm going to use this application to both explain to her some of a little bit of what I do, because she's also really curious about my job. And then I'm going to use this application also to do some like knowledge sharing. We're going to do some things where we do a little bit of knowledge sharing and help folks like what Anonymously is asking for, where they say, look, I'm trying to build this type of application. I'm looking for this specific sort of a structure. Can you help me? I think that'd be a fantastic thing. So we're gonna do that in 2024. That's for sure. If you haven't already followed the channel anonymously, feel free to do so. That's what I tell you. Frackberg in the future. I lost my memory 20 years ago. Yeah, I started losing mine somewhere back there as well, if I'm being honest. Also, you could go follow my good friend Layla Codes It. Let me go on YouTube and see if I can find her at Layla Codes It. My good friend Layla Codes It does content on this. She very much does content on this. And she and I, complete disclosure, she and I worked together in a previous life at a company that also was named, that rhymes with the name Cheerio. But I'm very sure that she'll probably have some content that would be really useful for you. Cool. All right, let's go do the thing. Let me get rid of this. Sorry, Layla. Let's go back over to the project. Let me go set up Visual Studio Code. I'm going to open a folder. We'll go to D. Oh, nope, that's not it. We're going to go to the D drive, to my code folder. We're going to go to Add Event. And I'm doing day 5. So let me do a new folder. Let's go Puzzle 5. And that's where I'm going to start all of my work in. Now, this looks really small to me. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger for y'all, just so you can see. And then I don't know why that did that. Okay. Then let me go to control that. And then let me do this. Close out the welcome, pull that up. And then let's go do .NET New. And I have been doing all of mine as console applications, so we're just gonna keep that thing going. We're gonna do a console application. What this is doing for those who don't do .NET is it's just creating a C# project for me. I write all of my code in C#. It's doing everything and creating it here in C#. So you can see it. I have my CS proj file. This tells me exactly what I need. There's some stuff in here. We won't really get into it because we don't really need to. And then I have the program file. And this is using, somebody tell me the name of it. I'm drawing a blank, where we don't have all the extra fluff. It's gotten rid of the fluff. Somebody tell me the name of it. I forget the name. I'm drawing a blank. But it's using it. So that way I can just write all the code that I need right here. Okay. I don't have to worry about other things. I'm still adjusting to this as well, but yeah. Okay, do not show that. Okay, good. So I also see stuff nicely in colored, right? I see console.writeLine. I see that resolves correctly, so that makes me feel good. What's very interesting is I just saw this solution file just got created, and that feels weird to me, so I'm very curious about that. I'm very, very, very curious about that. Anonymously, I'll come back and answer that question there. I've just queued it up. Give me 1 second. But what I can see here is it says program.cs. All of the code that I'm going to write is going to be in this one file for the most part. That it created this tells me, I want to see what happened here, because I'm very confused as to why it did that. Using .NET configured on path, that's fine. Oh, got it. Okay, I see what happened. To write C# code, Microsoft highly suggests that you install the C# dev kit in Visual Studio Code. I have that installed, and as a result, that thing activated and ended up creating some things behind the scenes. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know how I feel about that. I'm gonna come back to that. Let me go grab this question really quickly. If we are building a .NET application, how do we actually update the .NET version? It's actually quite straightforward, last as I understood it. So if I'm wrong, chat, let me know. The cool thing here is you can just come change this value, the target framework value. So in your CS_proj file, your CS_proj file is the file that describes your project for the most part. You see things here like output type, what type of application are we building? You could put exe for an executable, you can put DLL for a library, and so on and so forth. But the target framework is really where you change this value. And there are accepted values there, which we can find in the Microsoft docs if we need to. But there are some accepted values there so that it knows, like if you want to go from 6 to 7 to 8, it'll do that. Now, that being said, once you make that change, you also need to do the rebuilds, right? So you may have to update things like references and dependencies and all this other stuff, right? This is where I appreciate IDEs and not code editors. Like Visual Studio Code is a code editor, so there's some stuff that it will catch, but it won't catch as much of it. But an IDE like Visual Studio or the one from JetBrains, Writer, they will catch some of that by default, and they'll make sure to let you know. And yes, anonymously just asked the same question I was talking to, which is does this impact, if I update the .NET version, does it impact my package references? Yes. My suggestion, there are tools that Microsoft, like I'll answer this and then I'll get back to the code. There are tools that Microsoft publishes to help you with doing migrations between .NET versions. My suggestion to you is like, take it project by project, reference by reference, right? Don't just do a blind update, because if you do that, it could work, but you really need a full suite of tests to ensure that everything still works the way that you intended to. So what I generally tell folks is take the time to resolve that. Now that's my opinion. I'd actually be curious for folks in chat if you have gone through a migration project where you've had to go between different versions of .NET, how you've gone at it. I'm very curious to hear what folks in chat will say. And then while they respond to that, I'm gonna go read, because I have to go figure out what I'm supposed to be building. If you give a seed of fertilizer, dear Lord. You take the boat and find the gardener right where you were told he would be, managing a giant garden that looks more to like a farm, to you like a farm. A water source. Island is the water source. You point out that Snow Island isn't receiving any water. Oh, we had to stop the water because we ran out of sand to filter it with. Can't make snow with dirty water. But don't worry, I'm sure we'll get more sand soon. We only turned off the water for a few days, weeks. Oh no! His face sinks into a look of horrified realization. I've been so busy making sure everyone here has food that I completely forgot to check why we stopped getting more sand. There's a ferry leaving soon that's headed over in that direction. It's much faster than your boat. Could you please go check it out? You barely have time to agree to this request when he brings up another. While you wait for the ferry, maybe you can help us with our food production problem. The latest Island Almanac just arrived and we're having trouble making sense of it. The Almanac, your puzzle input, lists all of the seeds that need to be planted. It also lists what type of soil to use with each kind of seed, what type of fertilizer to use with each kind of soil, and what type of water to use with each kind of fertilizer, so on and so forth. Every type of seed, soil, fertilizer, and so on is identified with a number, but numbers are reused by each category, which is soil 1, 2, 3 and fertilizer 1, 2, 3 aren't necessarily related to each other. Oh God, this is not going to be good. This is like a tree thing. So you have seeds 79, 14, 55, and 13. And then your seed to soil map says 50, 98, 2, 52, 50, 48. I don't know how to read that. 0, 15, 37, 37, 52, 2, 39, 0, 15. Fertilizer to water map, water to light map, light to temperature map, temperature to humidity map, humidity to location. Good Lord. The almanac starts by listing which seeds need to be planted. Thank you. The rest of the almanac contains a list of maps which describe how to convert numbers from a source category into numbers in a destination. That is, the section that starts with seed to soil describes how to convert a seed number to a soil number. This lets the gardener and his team know which soil to use with which seeds, and so on and so forth. Rather than list every source number and its corresponding destination, the maps describe the entire ranges of numbers that can be converted. So each line within a map contains 3 numbers: the destination range start, the source range start, and the range length. For example, God, this is tricky. You have seeds 79, 14, 55, and 13. Okay? Your seed to soil map says 50, 98, 2, 52, 50, 48. The first line has a destination range start of 50, a source range start of 98, and a range length of 2, which means the source range starts at 98 and contains 2 values, 98 and 99. The destination range is the same length, but it starts at 50, so its 2 values are 50 and 51. With this information, you know that seed 98 corresponds to soil number 50 and seed 99 corresponds to soil 51. I think that makes sense. I'm gonna come back and read this again. The first line has a destination range of 50, a source range start of 51, and a range length of 2. Okay, got it. This makes sense to me. Got it. I wish they would have put a header on this, but whatever. The second line means that the source range starts at 50 and contains 48 values. So it goes from 50, 51, all the way up to 97. This corresponds to a destination range of 52, starting at 52, and contains 48 values all the way up to 99. So seed number 53 corresponds to soil number 55. I need to figure out that. I got to figure this part out just to make sure I understand it. Before I continue, let's say a big welcome and thank you to all of our friends coming from the Raiders channels. Polyglots, thank you for the follow button. Let's do it one more time. Welcome to our Raiders. Glad to have you. Shout out to our amazing colleague, Justin Brown. Thank you for joining. Let me give you a quick shout out. For those who are joining, we're doing a little bit of Advent today. My name's Corey Weathers. I have the privilege and pleasure of being a developer advocate lead at Auth0. I actually work with Jess. Shout out to Jess, amazing colleague. We have chats all of the time. We're on the same team. Full disclosure, I manage that team. Yes, but I'm excited to see you all come on over. How was your stream today, Jess? Hopefully it went well. Hopefully all of your viewers enjoyed it. We're doing some Advent of code today. I'm also writing some .NET code. Heaven help us. We'll see how far we go. Fingers crossed. Jess says their stream was great. Fantastic. What were you working on? I'm very curious. I'm sure it was in Python, yes? Okay, here we go. Any source numbers that aren't mapped correspond to the same destination number. So seed number 10 corresponds to soil number 10. That's because it's not mapped. So the entire list of seed numbers and their corresponding soil numbers looks like this. 0 goes to 0, 1 goes to 1, 48 goes to 48, 49, 96 goes to 98, 97 goes to 99, and so on and so forth. Jeez. With this map, you can look up the soil number required for each initial seed number. So seed number 79 corresponds to soil number 81. Seed number 14 corresponds to soil number 14. The gardener and his team want to get started as soon as possible, so they'd like to know the closest location that needs a seed. Using these maps, find the lowest location number that corresponds to any of the initial seeds. Good God. This feels like I need to go build a map. In this example, to do this, you'll need to convert each seed number through other categories until you find its corresponding location. In this example, the corresponding types are seed, soil, fertilizer, water, light, temperature, humidity, location. So seed number 79 goes to location 82. 14 goes to location 13. 55 goes to 86, and so on and so forth. So the lowest location number is, in this example, is 35. Now, when they look at the input, what is the lowest location number that corresponds to any of the initial seed numbers? And this is based on my own puzzle input, which looks like this. Oh, Lord. This looks not fun. This looks very not fun. Jess says they were working on with the Flask to Fast API migration. Hey, I was talking about that on the channel here. If you have the link to your blog post, can you drop it into chat? You should be approved to drop links into chat, so I think it should work. I would love for people to read the blog. I had a chance to look at it this morning. Now you all will get the chance to do the same. While I go fight with figuring out what exactly this was supposed to look like. 1 second. So I'm going to take this input and I'm going to do something. Let me take this input and let's go over to Visual Studio Code and let me go create a new test file, test.txt. And I forgot that I had Copilot turned on this. That's our file. I'm just going to make it a touch. Let me make this just a little bigger. Hold on. Okay. I want to make sure everyone can see. Thank you so much for dropping that, Jess. For those of you who didn't see it, let me just pull that up so that everyone is aware. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Oh, I can't pull it into feature chat. That's okay. Hit that link. It's been shared on Twitch. You may have seen it pass by just down below in the scrolling bar on the bottom. But Jess has a fantastic article for folks who are moving from Flask to Fast API. If you are a Python developer, would love for you all to take a look and have some fun, share some feedback, all the sorts. Yeah. .com is here as well. Welcome, .com. Super glad to see you. Super glad to see you. Super glad to see you. For those who are watching on all the other platforms, if you do want to join the conversation, join us on twitch.tv/CoreyLWeathers. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I got to make sure I have this understanding correct, because it's driving me a little bad. So they said source, destination, seed number. Source, destination, no, and then range, right? So it's source, destination, and then range. Then, as an example, if we go from 50 as our source, and we have 98 as our destination with a range of 2, we'll have 50 and 51, right, as our source location. And let me go back to the test input. Okay, that should make sense. And then there's the other side of this, which is we have a source of 52 and destination of 50. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. I think I got it. So let me see if I can model this really quickly. Right? Let's assume we have, I'm gonna call it a dictionary, but I don't know if I really want a dictionary, but let's just start here. Let's assume we have a list of integers that are our sources, right? And that's equal to a new list. No, I need a dictionary. I do need a dictionary. Let me start with a dictionary. And that dictionary gives us a lookup and a key and a lookup, a value on that key, right? And then I can do something like this, where I can go 50, 98, and then I can go 51, 99, right? That makes sense. Let me go make sure I'm following on the rest of this. Where's the seed? Got it. Okay, this is making sense to me now. So I have seeds that start at 79. Because they're not in that map, then the destination on it would be 79. I have a seed that's 14. It's not in that map, so it's going to be 14. I have a seed that's 55. It's not in that map, so it's going to be 55 for its destination. But if this were, say, 50, then the destination would be 98. Okay. I think I know what to do now. I think the first step is to grab the list of seeds, obviously, right? Like that's our starting place. We need to put that into an array. That's the first one. Then the second is we have all these maps and it just feels like one big dictionary. Like this is a dictionary, which links to this dictionary, which links to this dictionary, which links to that dictionary, right? So I'm feeling like this is like a bunch of lookup work, which kind of sucks because it feels like one of those recursive kind of problems. I'm also pouring out some water behind the scenes just so I can continue talking to y'all. We're going for about 30 more minutes, y'all. We're going for 30 more minutes and then we'll see how we'll wrap this thing up. We'll head over to our friend James Quick's stream. James Quick's stream. I'm going to brute force my way through this. Give me a second. And I'm going to do this by starting with comments first. So what our algorithm is going to do first is read the seeds into an array or a list. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go int seeds. Look at GitHub. Look at Copilot trying to help me figure this out. File dot, no, not that. File dot read all lines. And there I want test.txt. And then, actually, that code is correct. I was going to type all of that, actually. That's actually correct. Actually, no, that's not correct. This is incorrect. I can't do this. I cannot do that. Hold on. I need that. I need this. I need that. And I'm going to tell you why. The way that the input is set up, like this is the test, right? Let me go put the input in here. And what I'm going to do is go grab that input and then paste it in here. Okay, what you'll see is it reads a line, right? So we can read one line and then we get to an empty line. And once we get to an empty line, it's time for us to go build a map. So from there, we almost need like read the line, get to a break, then go read a map, process the map. Get to a break, read a map, process the map. Get to a break, read the map, process the map. This is going to be very not fun, but we'll find out. We'll find out. Close that because I don't need that. So let me go var line equals reader.read line, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this one is just what? Oh, it's just the beginning. So that looks like line should look like, let me get rid of this. I don't need any of that. That. We'll copy this over. And then we're going to go, oh, yo, Copilot is, did y'all see what Copilot just did? I'm not even gonna, like, I'm gonna do this, but I want you to understand what Copilot just did. Because what Copilot just did, this is actually very interesting. Copilot was like, ooh, you probably want to get the seeds now. So let's grab from that line, right? From that line, let's split it up based on where the colon is, right? And then they did another split based on the space. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Then they said, okay, for everything that you've gotten, select everything that's in that line, because it's going to be in an array, and convert it to an integer, and then convert that over to the final array. That is interesting. Okay, let me hit tab, because I'm not going to accept it. I need to change something. I need to change that, and I'm going to change this. String split options dot remove empty entries, or string split options dot trim, because this bit me in the butt before. Then on this, why is that complaining? I'm gonna change that from int.parse, because int.parse needs a string, and I'm gonna change that to convert.int. They're like, I don't know. Well, these numbers are big, so I'm gonna change that to int64 actually. And I'm gonna explain why. And then I want to change this to toList. Okay, so let me explain why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, because you're probably like, wait, you just said that was really smart, and I did, but I'm gonna take advantage of some features. This is why you gotta be really careful with just accepting things. That code could have probably worked, but it was very much specific to the comment. And you can see it in the way that it crafted that suggestion. So what I did was I said, okay, instead of doing dot split twice, get out of here. Instead of doing dot split twice, let's do dot split once, right? But then let's remove any and all empty entries. Or if there's any that have spaces around them, let's just get rid of the spaces. Okay. So it's going to at least grab that first line, and it'll do that. Then for everything that it gets in that first line, and it trims all the stuff, it's going to now be a list of numbers, right? But those numbers are actually strings. They're not real numbers. So wait. Oh, I can remove the lambda expression. So for everything that it gets, convert it to a number in code. Now, I just realized I can do this. And that will work as well. I'm not going to leave this like this because I don't think that this is actually as readable. I'm actually going to swap that back. But this is a nice feature. I don't know if y'all would take advantage of this. I'm curious about the folks in chat. I'm not going to do it, but yeah. Oh, God. Fine. I'll put the question mark there. I forgot how to turn that off. If someone in chat knows how to turn that off, let me know. I forgot. And so now we're going to read the rules into a dictionary. And look at this. Copilot is getting smart. This is really interesting to me. Huh. I'm just laughing because I'm reading this and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Copilot thinks it's smarter than me. In some respects, it is. But look what it's done. I said, read the rules into a dictionary because that comment was correct. So what it's done is it said, hey, while line equals reader.readLine, right? So what we're doing is we're taking this same thing because it's just reading all the lines. And then it's saying, hey, while that's not equal to no, which means there are still lines to be read, right? Go ahead and split the line up in the same way that I did before. Then take the first number, take the last number, and then just add them to a dictionary. And that's close, but that's not exactly what we need. I'm like baffled by, I'm amazed by like the awesomeness of Copilot. Hold on, let me go get this. So first of all, I need to get rid of this, right? So I'm gonna go while line and I'm very sure that I can do an is not no, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so this is still gonna read the line in. I need to do something. Switch. I'm gonna accept their suggestion because what I want to do is process the labels, right? So anytime it reads this, that's a label. I want it to process the labels. So what I want to do is say var, I'm just going to return an object. Let's go object, process label, and then return object and new object. And I'm just doing that for now, just because I need something to get me there. So let me do two things. One, let me switch that out from there. Why is it breaking on me? What is that complaining about? Parentheses, fine. And then let me do a couple things. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of, so now Copilot's getting in the way. I need this, I need that. I need case, and then that, and then, whoops, I need that. Grab that, grab that, grab that. And I'm just gonna take all of these and throw those over into processing the label. And all that's going to do is make sure that I set up the dictionary correctly. So that for each of these, the dictionary has what it needs. And I told you I'm brute forcing my way through this. We're not going to optimize necessarily anything. Oh, look at that. It picked it up. Wait, nope. It did light to heat. It needs light to temperature. So light to temperature. It needs temperature to humidity. So we're gonna do that. Copy, paste, temperature to humidity. You can tell I'm someone who does not use Copilot often. It's quite fascinating. Because I'm like, ooh, look at that. Didn't realize it did that. Case, that, right? And then what I want to do is I'm going to call up, get out of the way, process label. And I'll send it the label. So I'll send it the line. And then we'll do a break, right? And then what I need is the dictionary object. So for now, I'm just going to say object dictionary equals new object. For now, I'm going to go fix that later because the other side is going to be process the map. And I need to break that part down. So I'm going to put dictionary here, and then I'm going to put line for now, but I'm going to break this down and it'll make a ton more sense. And so let me just say dictionary is equal to process the label. And here I'm going to give it a string line, and then process the map should return something. I'm just going to put void process map. Oh, perfect. Perfect. It did exactly what I needed it to do. Let me go check chat real quick because I wasn't paying attention to chat. Let me just do a little bit of chat bankruptcy. Hold on. I'm switching cups. Oh, good. Yeah, so folks are talking about Copilot. Let me just follow up here. TBD Gamer said they found Copilot to be very creative. It's good at suggesting methods I want to exist, even if they don't. Yeah, it's interesting it's interesting seeing me navigate through this, right? As I'm also thinking through an algorithm live in my head, right? And you all are probably watching me think out loud as well. So I'm very curious to get your thoughts on like if you think I'm doing something wrong and how Copilot is helping me do something wrong. Because that's the danger of something like Copilot is it'll keep suggesting things. You have to make sure that its suggestions are actually accurate. So yeah. Jess is going to be streaming on the first Friday of January. Let's cheer for that. So for those of you who hit the follow button on Jess's channel, and Jess, you'll be streaming on Twitch, correct? On twitch.tv/Jess Temporal. Yeah? Yeah, perfect. So for those of you who are watching from all of the other platforms, make sure you head over to Twitch. Make sure you hit the follow button. Again, fellow developer advocate over at Auth0 by Auth0. Fantastic work. Jess also said, Copilot helped me write CSS yesterday. I've never been happier figuring out CSS. Yeah, I will probably... The .NET developer in me does not like CSS. So I will probably be just as happy as you are. Anonymous says, I think Copilot is from an extension from the C# dev kit. Yeah, let me see. I think I have an extension installed. I'm very sure I do, because I have access to Copilot because of something. I don't know why, but I have access to Copilot. Like I have free access to Copilot. TBD Gamer says, I mainly rely on Copilot for code suggestions. I don't often use the chat feature to ask it for help. I probably should start learning to use that aspect. Yeah, I also didn't use it for help here either. Well, use the chat feature. I definitely should have, but yeah, we'll see. Jess says, next year I want to figure out streaming to YouTube and LinkedIn as well as Twitch. Shout out to Restream. We're taking advantage of Restream today. It's helping us to be in all the places. Apparently Restream also launched the ability to go live on Instagram in addition to the other places. So kudos to that. We're going to clap for that as well. Hey, CoreyCodes, welcome. Welcome. Super glad to have you. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you in chat. It says, ooh, extensions. Yup. TVD Gamer says, I wonder if I can get Copilot to generate a style sheet for me if I just tell it what I want. I'm going to try that actually. When I do my sample project next year, I'm going to do that because I do not like writing CSS. I really despise it. Not because I don't understand it, in part because I don't keep up with CSS and there's so many other things you can do. So maybe it is because I don't understand it. But the other side to it is I'm just not a visual person in that way. Like I like big buckets, like big bubbles, right? Like if you tell me to get into the details on margins and paddings and colors and all of that, I'm gonna struggle. Oh, Wheat's here. Welcome. It's good to see you, Wheat. Glad to have you. Says, I did AI to generate 3 lines of CSS to get a very specific use case correct. The AI also took about 2 hours to do it. Yeah, because what I've learned with AI is you start with a general ask and then you need to get super specific. So like I asked, I'm running on Windows as you all can see. I asked, what is the name of the Copilot for Windows? Whatever the name of the Copilot is for Windows, I asked it to generate a database for me, a document database for me. And I had to go back and ask a couple of times to do it differently, to like tweak things. And I will tell you, the finished product was fantastic. But yeah, anyways, we're coming up on time. I gotta hurry up and stop talking. Wait. Before I get back into it, I'm just going to do this. So I got jokes all day. It's the name of the Copilot for Windows. It's a very nice question to ask AI. That's right. All right. So here's what I've done. This is all set up. This prompt is going to be really long. It's going to take me a long time. So we'll see if I actually finish it. But all I did was set up the parsing of the file, right? So I said, hey, like we're gonna create a reader so that we can read data out of the file, right? The using just makes this disposable so that we actually close the handle and we don't end up leaving that open anywhere. This reads the first line, right? And then we process it. So we say, hey, give me the seeds from the first line. Then from there, we just keep reading, right? So while reader.readline does not equal no, we have this dictionary set up out here. I'm gonna move it outside and I'll tell you why in 2 seconds. I think the scope needs to be out there. And as you see, I just created an object. In .NET, everything is an object. Like everything is an object. Even when you think it's not an object, it's an object. So, oh, and they tell you that it supports all the classes, right? So I can go back and change that when I'm actually going to change it. So now I have a switch here. We have things processing labels. We have things processing maps. I need to do one more case, which is case string dot is null or empty. And in that case, I'm just going to break. And this is, I can't do this because it's not a constant. So I'm just going to do this. Oh, get out of here. No, Jesus. Okay, let me brute force this. I'm just going to have to do it that way. Get out the way. Okay. And all that's doing is saying, like, if we get an empty line, don't do anything. Right? Because we're going to have a couple of these where there is no text. I would have preferred if I could have did string dot is null or empty, but whatever. So we have this set up where it should go through now and at least do some things. Now I got to figure out the actual work. And I'm going to start this, but we're going to stop in literally 4 minutes because I got to leave. Because the other side is I got to go pick up my kids. Today's their last day of school before the new year, which is insane to me, but whatever. How come I don't get 2 weeks off of work? Auth0. Anyway, kidding. Don't tell them I said that. Okay, so process the label is intended to give us the right dictionary object back. So what we'll say is create, oops. No, I didn't want to do that. How do I, oh God, my commands, my muscle memory is terrible. F2, process label, I'm gonna rename this to create dictionary map or create map. Okay. And what that will do is for each of these, it'll return the right map. Now, I don't know if that's the right way to do this. Let me think on this real quick. Because what I'm going to have is a starting number, but then I'm going to have this lookup, and then they each correspond to their own. Oh God, this is like a nasty linked list. So I could do a start. Hold on, get out of there. I can do a start destination, a start source, a start destination, an end source based on that, and an end destination. And then I can check to see if this is in the starting range. Ooh, that could be good. Cone asks what I'm working on. Advent of code day 5. So like as an example, I could do something like this. How do I do it? I could do dictionary. Start. Int. No. Because I'll only have the seed. But I need a tuple. So I can do int for the start. No, I don't. Maybe I don't need a dictionary. Hold on. No, I do. And then I want an int for the end and the range. And then what I could do, is take that and say, okay, well, if I have 79, go find an entry. No, that's not gonna work. Shoot. Let me think about how I want to do this. Let me just write it out. This is like being in an interview. So what I want is, if I have a starting of 50 and 98 and then a range of 2, then I want to know that my end is also 51 and 99. But I don't necessarily, I do need that. I do need the range. So what I really want is find an entry where the seed is within the range. Save the range in a list. If the entry isn't in the range, return the entry. If it is in the range, calculate, find an entry and look up where the source is within, where the seed is within the source range. Save the start and end of the range in a list. I could just do this in an object. I just don't want to. If the entry is within the source range, isn't, then just return the entry number. And then if it is in the source range, calculate the destination range. Destination seed and return it. I wonder if I told Copilot that if it would just write the code for me. I don't want to do that though. I actually want to write the code myself. This sucks because I feel like I've just gotten the core of this algorithm down. The problem is I gotta go because I have to go run and get the kids and then come back. And then I have to go create a video for my job, for my day job. Man, just as I was getting some rhythm. Okay, hold on. So here's the deal. I have to press pause. I shouldn't have started this. I knew when I read it, it was going to be a tricky problem for me. I shouldn't have started it. Let me switch screens real quick because I don't like starting projects that we don't finish. I mean, that happens. I think people who've watched me have seen me do that. That happens. I don't like starting problems that we can't finish. So here's what we did. We talked a lot. We talked a good deal about all things, community. We talked about C#, some fun updates in all things .NET 8. I think I shared at the beginning of the stream that this would be the last one for this year. We may come back in the new year. We'll see if I can find the time to do this consistently. Doubt it, but we'll see. You know, a couple of guest appearances here and there, like with our friend TBD Gamer and Chef Brent and C# Fritz. A couple of those guest appearances will probably happen. We'll see if we can find the time. I want to just thank you all. I think you all have been absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you being patient while I thought through the algorithm and wrote things down, right? I appreciate you being patient while I answered a number of questions. I think you all had some fantastic questions today, and I love them. We also saw our friend Jess come through with the Raiders. Thank you, Jess, for the raid. Really, really, really love that. Yeah. It's time for us to let this thing go. It's time for us to hop offline. Now, for those of you who are joining from Twitch, what we're going to do as we wrap this thing up is we're going to head over to our friend James Quick. I'm just going to double check that he's still online. They usually do a recording of his podcast called Compressed FM. And so I'm very, very, very excited. He and I talked yesterday. Shout out to James. He and I talked yesterday about some opportunities for us to connect up as well in the new year. So I'm very much looking forward to that. For those of you who are not joining on Twitch, you can join the conversation, join the raid as we head over there by just coming to twitch.tv/CoreyWeathers. You don't need to log in. If you just come to the site, you will be included in that raid. Additionally, God, there's one other thing I have to do. We have to pay some bills. I have to pay some bills. So I'm going to play a video, okay? I'm going to play a video that continues to share the goodness of all things identity as we say thank you to our fantastic sponsor, Auth0, who keeps me employed and allows me to do these things, like come on screen and have fantastic conversations with you. After we finish doing that, we'll head to the See You Soon screen, and then we'll raid on over to our friend James. So listen, thank y'all again. Always, always, always happy to be with you. I will see y'all in the new year, God willing. Godspeed. Have a happy and safe holidays, friends. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Ciao.
Do you know what a passkey is and what you can do with it? Passkeys are FIDO discoverable credentials. They introduce a new and end-user friendly way of using FIDO without compromising on its phishing resistance properties. The trick is the FIDO credential is backed up on the cloud, so it makes it available across all your devices. So you can easily set them up on new devices or even restore them if you lose your phone. Thanks to autofill support, passkeys are very easy to use alongside passwords, making it possible to implement gradual migration at the pace your users are comfortable with. Now you know what passkeys are and what you can do with them. This was Identity in a Minute.